right now, if you're a high schooler, start learning how to network properly. There is nothing more important in your business than understanding how to properly network.
If your market is telling you they want the cheaper stuff, then stock the cheaper stuff. And I don't care, once again, if it's Gummy's headphone store or you're an influencer trying to sell a product. If your audience isn't buying those products, you haven't matched your product with the audience.
We have questions from our studio audience.
Look at that.
All right, yes, sir.
So when it comes to my social media on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, what are the steps of me making my own business?
All right, well, welcome back, Gummy. Here we are. We're in a new place today.
I know.
We're in this really, really amazing auditorium. So we are at Neumann Goretti High School in South Philadelphia at the John M. Connolly Center for Business and Entrepreneurship. So yeah, guys. Thank you so much for having us. I'm Mike Tricanian.
I'm Gummy.
And this is the Start It or Scrap It podcast, where we take your questions live on TikTok and also we'll go on Reddit and look for people that have questions about running a business, starting a business, anything really involving marketing, anything like that, and try to get you some decent advice at least, right?
It's advice.
Advice is a good word for it. And so yeah, if you are on TikTok watching us live, please leave us a question in the comments, and we'd love to respond to your question live on the podcast today. But today's a special one, so we're not in our usual podcast studio, which we will be back in on Wednesday. We are in South Philadelphia. A very, very good friend of mine, roommate from college, Tim Cairy, is the president here, and they just opened this John Connolly Center, and it's for business and entrepreneurship. And we have a bunch of great students here today for future entrepreneurs and business executives, and they wanted to get an idea of what it's like to run a podcast. So here we are. So we're going to do our podcast here today.
Yeah.
It's way better than our studio, I'll tell you that.
Do you know what I just realized, though?
What's that?
That means I'll be doing this with you again in 2 days.
That's right. You do it with me every day anyway. Who cares?
Okay.
We always talk about stuff every day. So anything crazy happened in your world over the weekend? Like, I don't know, Halloween or
I don't
anything
know.
like that?
I don't know. Maybe I scared some kids on Friday.
Tell people about your haunted house at your house. It's great.
Oh, so I do bite-sized candy bars, and then I do full-size candy bars. So I set the bite-sized candy bars up like right up my driveway, and kids can just come and grab it. If they want a full-size candy bar, I set up my front porch, completely cover it. You can't see anything. Fog machines, whole 9 yards. And I tell them, listen, you can either grab these little bite-sized ones, or you can go up on the front porch and there's a scarecrow sitting in a rocking chair holding the full-size candy bars. Well, I also happen to have a 7-foot mechanical werewolf and all kinds of other things up there. And I would say probably 10% of the kids never make it past looking into the porch and then turn around and walk right back. I have the scary music blasting.
It's fantastic. So I was hanging out at Gummy's house during Halloween, and it was great. It's every once in a while you get like a little 5 or 6 year old who's brave as anything.
Yep. I'm
going to do it. I'm going to go up, and they go walking up to it, and you see them get slower and slower. As they get, and the fog is coming out, and there's all kinds of noises, and they peer in and they see the werewolf. Nope.
Yeah,
they're gone.
I always say, so the first thing they see is the doll.
Yeah.
That stands there and goes,
and tears the head off the bear.
I just want to play with you, right? And it looks really scary, and then I have the strobe light on it, and I'm like, if they slow down when they see that, they're not making it in. Nope. And so that happens.
I thought that was great. It's
fun.
Fantastic time.
So.
Oh man. So, I had a new client. No, good. What?
I was reminded of something.
You were going to say something.
I
see it in your face.
So I was reminded of something this week.
Yeah.
My family was in, as you know.
Yep. From Iceland.
Yeah. And they're avid golfers now, right? Like 7 years ago, golf was the dumbest sport on the planet. Now they make trips just around golf.
You've converted them.
Yeah, I did. Actually, they converted themselves, which is okay. So they come over, and my uncle wants to go to the golf store to buy a couple of clubs, right? So we go over there, and he's hitting some clubs and stuff, and I go to the used rack. I pull off a driver, I hit it a couple of times. I pull another one, I hit it a couple of times because, like, I gotta waste some time while we're there.
Right.
Then I go and grab this driver, and I I hated looking at it. And I'm like, let me just try to hit it. So I go over and I swing it. And I'm like, oh my God, this shaft, right? So I hit it a few more times and I'm like, oh my God, like I want to buy this just for the shaft. So I turn around and I ask the guy and I'm like, what is this? And they go, you like that shaft, huh? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's the same shaft Tiger uses.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was one of those, it kind of reminded me of this situation that people often get in when they're starting up or starting out, right?
Mhm.
Is that shaft, 99% of golfers will never hit a shaft like that. It's like a $600 shaft. So just the shaft is as much as entire
A set
drivers.
of clubs, yeah. Or a set of clubs in some
Right.
cases.
But like now that I've hit it, I can't stop thinking about it, right? Like I'm going to be buying one of these shafts probably
Right.
in the spring, right? But it made me think of all the dumb mistakes we do when we're starting our business, right? We can't afford the best thing.
Sure.
And we don't know what it's capable of, so we think it's expensive, right? So we end up buying the cheap thing or the cheap version or the free version, right? When you could possibly afford maybe not quite, the $600 shaft, but you could afford the $400 one.
Sure.
And that would probably be good enough of an investment for you. And the reason I mention this is because I see it all the time when small businesses are deciding, for example, what CRM system to use.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I can't afford that $300 a month one, but you should, because the $29 one that you subscribe to isn't going to make your life as easy as the one that's $300.
It's not going to save you the time.
It's
right?
not going to
Your
save you the
time is
time.
worth a heck of a lot
It's
more
going
than
to be
$300.
harder. It's going to be harder to work with. It won't have the automations. But it's funny because I actually have posters that I used to print out and give to clients as like gifts. And it explains, I forget exactly what it says, but basically what it is saying is you can't afford to buy the cheapest thing, right? Because the
Right.
cheapest thing ultimately is going to cost you more. And it was just one of those moments where, like, once again, for me, golf ties into business quite a bit,
Always.
right?
It's that psychological fear that a lot of business owners, especially people that have never been, primarily people that have never been in business before, they get the fear of, I don't want to spend too much money. I don't want to put this into that. I don't want to spend. My favorite is I don't want to spend more than X.
Yes.
Why are you even bothering? That doesn't matter what your number is. You have no idea what it's going to cost you to run this business.
Most of the time, people are afraid of overspending when most of the time they should be afraid that they're underspending.
Right.
Like we've had this conversation with like
marketing.
Yeah, digital marketing, AdWords, Meta ads, whatever it is, right? If you spend under a certain amount, you might as well just
not spend anything.
Correct. You might as well throw your money out the window, because it needs a certain amount in order for it to be effective. And most businesses will not spend that kind of money until they get proof it works.
Right.
Right. But it won't work for what you're spending.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what happens is, so take, for example, a piece of software, like you mentioned a minute ago, CRM. You could go out and spend $50 a month on an Adobe subscription, which would give you Photoshop and Illustrator and all the things you're going to need. Or you could go the free route and get like a GIMP or something like that, right? And then what you realize after you do that is, well, it didn't have all the tools I needed, and now I'm stuck using this software that doesn't. I'm actually spending more hours on it because it doesn't work exactly as I need. There's a reason why Adobe costs as much as it costs.
Yes.
It saves you time. It saves you money. It gets you better, a better product in the end.
It's a better tool.
I know I'm going to have people in GIMP yelling at me. GIMP is a fantastic product. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to have people yelling at me about that. I'm sure.
You will.
But my point is that, maybe that was a bad example, but my point is that sometimes the free or cheaper software, or actually many times the free or cheaper software, will ultimately cost you more money in the end. Yeah. Because it's usually a time sink.
Most of the time it is, you're matching the tool up with your needs, right? Because if you explain this to people in the form of cars, right? if you're a roofing contractor, you probably should not be buying a Mazda Miata.
No,
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't look good for a roofing contractor.
A Mazda Miata could look good with a roof rack on it and a couple of roofs, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But they wouldn't even consider any of those types of cars for what they need, right? Like at a bare minimum, they would be looking at something with a bed on the back to transport stuff. Right. Now, do they need the Ford Ranger, or do they need, you know, that super fancy truck that's
like the F-350
that's parked in your driveway?
That's right.
That one.
The F-350 dually, yeah.
Yeah. Now, like there's a happy medium, right? Like they probably don't need that F-350 either, and the Ranger is probably too small. Right? But they're far more afraid of, once again, overspending than underspending.
Yep. Yeah. And that happens quite often. And unfortunately, it does lead to problems down the line, or it could lead to problems down the line. Now, again, you could get by with the cheaper CRM. But what you don't realize is sometimes the customer, if it's a CRM, for example, the customer might be affected by it.
Oh, yeah.
And you might not even realize they're affected by it, and they decide they don't want to work with you anymore. And that could have been the reason why, but they'll never tell you. So the point is that don't look at price necessarily. Price obviously is a factor when you're starting out, but don't look at price necessarily. Look at quality. Look at what you're going to get for it. And more importantly, if you're not familiar with how that type of software works, talk to someone who does.
Oh, yeah.
Because you might, just remember, when you go to these websites for that CRM, it's all this is a marketing pitch. They're trying to tell you the best things about this and why it's so great and why it's cheaper and why you need to sign up with that. They're not telling you about the detriments. They're not telling you about the problems and the adversity you're going to face when using it. So you want to talk to someone who knows about it, or go on and look at reviews and stuff like that.
Or talk to someone that loves their CRM system.
Right.
Like, what do they love about it? Why do they use it? Like, because they may have totally different needs than you, right? So I was talking to our buddy Bob today, and we were talking about the difference in phone systems, right? The phone system I need for my business is not the same phone system as the solopreneur handyman. Right. Like we have totally different needs for a phone system. I need one that has multiple extensions, that makes it easy to transfer calls between people. He needs a phone that rings, right? Like, that's literally
cell phone.
Yes. So like I spend probably, I don't know, $300 a month on my phone system. That would be absolutely way too much.
Overkill.
Yeah. But yeah, find what you need, talk to people that have done it before, and then use it.
All right. So we have our first question here from TikTok. And again, for those of you watching here in the studio today, if you have any questions, feel free to put your hands up. We have a question from StockSafe who says, curious if anyone here uses social media, Instagram specifically, for their business and what you have found to work best. I hear a lot of people say they don't need it and others say differently. That's all you, buddy.
Yeah. So we've talked about this in the past, right?
Ad nauseum.
So if you're looking to get new business, TikTok is one of the best platforms to do that. Yeah. Right. Instagram as well.
Yeah. And why is that?
It's because, well, lately, TikTok originally, it was because it was an interest-based platform, right? So like if you were looking at specific types of videos, you would get shown more of that.
Right.
Instagram was always a connection-based, and so was Facebook. Now they've all gone to interest-based, meaning that they show you more of the type of stuff you like. So Instagram is becoming better at driving new traffic, new business. But I tell people when they're starting out all the time, unless you are going to dedicate time to do the social media and it's going to become part of your routine, don't start it.
Don't
because
bother.
You can lose more business off of some social media platforms, not gain it. Right. And especially there's a certain generation, they have a tendency of, once they find someone they want to do business with, they'll do a quick search of them on Instagram or Facebook or any of the platforms. And if your last post was from Easter 2021, it's just...
That's worse than not having any posts at all.
Yes.
For some reason.
Correct, right? But like, I have to admit, I've even done it. Like I was looking at working with this guy, and the one night I just pulled up his Facebook, and his last Facebook post was literally like a year and a half old.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Like, you can't even take the time to put up a picture of your work? Like, why? Is it not good enough?
Right.
Like,
it does. It gets you guessing,
Yes.
right? I'd rather know that you don't have Facebook than see that you haven't posted on it for 4 years.
absolutely.
And it's strange if that's the case, but I mean, so a lot of people say they don't need it. Others say differently. Again, it depends on.
If you're going to advertise on those platforms,
Yeah.
then yes, absolutely you need it. But don't expect them to be, if you're like a small business or a local business, social media organic is not going to be a large driver of leads or business for
Right.
you. The ad platforms on those will.
Right. Now,
But now you're paying
if
for
you
it.
have a product,
Mhm.
a physical product
Yep.
that could go anywhere.
Yep.
Well, now that's a different story.
Correct.
Right. If you're the local plumber, that's different than a product that can be shipped worldwide.
Correct.
Right. All it takes one or two,
Yeah.
viral videos with a couple 100,000 views,
Oh, yeah.
which isn't easy to do, but that's what sometimes it's all it takes. Your product could explode tomorrow.
It could. And I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've actually seen it almost bankrupt a company.
How so?
They had a TikTok video that went viral. They only had like 15,000 units. And because of the volume of orders they got, they weren't able to pack and ship within what they said.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they had a little guarantee.
They weren't ready for that.
No, they weren't
Yeah.
ready for the ships in 3 days or less.
Yeah.
Because they weren't expecting all the orders to come in at the same time.
That happened on Big Bang Theory. Did you watch Big Bang Theory?
No.
That happened on Big Bang. They started a small company where they sold these little hair things, and they put rush delivery on there, and someone ordered 50,000 of them. Next day, rush delivery. They hadn't even made any of them yet. Someone ordered 50,000 of them. It was pretty funny. So yeah, but then that absolutely can happen. So stock safe. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your business, depends on what you're trying to do. Whether you're a service or a product-based business, it can absolutely have its benefits. But like Gummy said, you have to keep at it. You can't do 3 or 4 videos. And it's funny, as we were talking to the students here earlier, you can't do 3 or 4 videos and expect a rush of people. It just doesn't work like that. It could take 100, 200 videos before anyone even sees your name. But that's what you have to be prepared for. But once it starts working, yeah, it's the
works.
greatest advertising in the world,
Yes.
hands down.
Yes.
So, and if you're not ready to do that, then buy ad space.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with buying ad space
no.
either.
No, people totally underestimate the
There's
the
a
effectiveness
big
of-
value
of
in that.
buying space. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're on TikTok live, again, StockSafe, thank you for the question. If you're on TikTok watching this live, please put your questions into the comments, and we'd love to get to them while we're doing the live podcast today. Otherwise, we are going to shift over to Reddit.
Yep.
We're going to see what's going on over there. So we are in the entrepreneur subreddit, and this is from Ava_Una, who says, hey, guess what, Gummy? It's a marketing question.
Yay.
What is the best marketing advice you've ever received as a small business? For example, for me, it was when your copy / brand speaks to everyone, it actually speaks to no one. This was a huge perspective change for me personally. So curious, what is the best marketing advice you'd ever received as a small business? Let's switch it up. What's the best marketing advice you like to give people that are small business owners?
Visibility matters more than you think.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's a billboard, a door hanger, a vehicle wrap, social media. I've said this a million times. People can't do business with you if they don't know you exist.
Right.
Right? So doing something is always better than doing nothing. And your message matters less than you think. If you just take your logo and slap it on a billboard, it will
Sometimes that's good enough.
it'll have drastic effect,
Yeah.
right? Just because people now see your name, they know who you are.
Yeah.
That's it.
And let's explain why that is. Okay, so it's very unlikely, forget about search engines, forget about people typing in what they're looking for. It's very unlikely that someone's going to interact with your brand, whether it's a billboard, a door hanger, a newspaper article, online, whatever it is, and say, "Oh, let me buy that now." Right? Unless it's maybe a piece of clothing or something that they're maybe something like that. But generally speaking, they're not ready to interact with your brand the moment they see it. The idea is to keep your brand in their head so that 2 months later, when their window breaks and they need a window guy, they remember that billboard or that ad they saw. Oh, what was the name of that company? Oh, right, this person.
So what has happened over time is there's this thing called the lead funnel, right? And it's always stayed the same. And people, lately, there's been this huge discussion like, is the lead funnel really the lead funnel? And yes, it hasn't changed. The terminology has changed around it, but it's the same. So over the last few years, everybody has been competing with what we call the bottom of the lead funnel. That's the people that are looking to buy now, right? Like, and those are the most expensive leads to buy. That's the person whose faucet is leaking and they need the plumber now.
Right.
There are several other steps before that, and those ads are generally way cheaper. And if you can get to people during those stages where they actually remember you when they see the leaky faucet, oh, leaky faucet, oh, I better call Joe's Plumbing. Right? Not someone to fix my leaky faucet. The cost per conversion or cost per customer can often be drastically less if you get them earlier in the funnel.
Yeah.
Now that you need more touches, right? And you need to wait for the faucet to leak, but when it does, they call you.
Yep. But that's the search funnel, right?
No. That's in general.
Just in general.
In general, yeah.
Okay.
People, whether you're buying leads from Angie's List, a lot of the AdWords campaigns, stuff, that's all fighting for bottom of funnel stuff, which is why it's so expensive.
Right. So is that your marketing advice to small business?
Exposure. Get exposure.
Just exposure at the end of the day.
Sponsor your local Little League team.
Yes. People underestimate how powerful that is. If you are a local business servicing a local area, sponsor those sports teams. Yep. Not just the T-shirts, but get your name on the walls or something like that. On the
baseball field, on the fence.
Oh man, you have no idea how powerful that becomes.
It was funny because I was asked to donate to a trunk and treat for my kids.
Yep.
And you remember I had those glass wipes, right? That had Red Knight on them. And I'm like, can the item be branded that I donate? And they were like, sure. So I ordered 400 of these little microfiber towels and gave that for the trunk or treat because they all have tablets. They all have cell phones. They all have,
computers.
And if they don't use it, they're going to take it home and the parent is going to grab it out of their bag and go, oh, I could use this.
I could use this.
Right? That's in my local community. In that same community, you saw my old branded vehicle with a big Red Knight on it and stuff. I do the 4th of July parade every year, right? Like I am the marketing company in a 3-mile radius of where I live. Like people know who we are, right? And is that enough business to do a lot of business? No, but at least that's guaranteed business for everyone in my community, right? And then it spreads.
It spreads from
I often use the analogy of like bands, like rock bands, whatever, right? They don't start at the Spectrum or
Spectrum.
No, sorry.
How far back are you going?
I don't know. What's it called now?
The Wells Fargo Center. Actually, just changed its name again, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't do Philly sports, so I don't know.
We'll talk about him in baseball at another time. Go ahead.
But like they don't start at these big venues, and because it's costly to advertise to fill it, right? And nobody knows who they are. So where do they start? They start at their local pubs.
Right.
They start at the local bars. They start at the local festivals, right? And then people hear about them the next town over. So now they're playing the festival at the next town over, and so on and so on. And that's how it grows. That's how your brand should grow organically as well, is start with a small core and then grow it from there. It's the same. It's the Yeti strategy, right? It's all of these. That's how it starts, is you start with a small local dedicated audience that gets to know you, and then it expands from there.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I actually believe that's how Arizona started with their Arnold Palmer brand. They started making.
Tell us all about it.
So they started making iced tea for people that like iced tea, and then they decided to make this Arnold Palmer, which is half iced tea, half lemonade, and that's how they got to the golf community.
And why are we talking about Arnold Palmer
Because
iced
they
tea?
are absolutely delicious, available in light, diet, and regular.
Arizona Iced Tea is not a sponsor of this podcast.
we haven't
Gummy really wants them to be a sponsor of this podcast.
We haven't gotten a cease and desist yet,
So
right?
yeah, until they reach out to Gummy and tell them otherwise, he's going to keep promoting them. because
Absolutely.
he just wants to hear that Arizona
sounds-
is listening, and we'll one day maybe send him a couple of bottles. So
That's all I need.
that's all you need is a couple of bottles.
Send me enough that I have one for every episode.
That's
it.
right. You love it.
I need 52 a year.
All right. So anyway, Ava Yuna on Reddit. I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-ups, please leave some comments, and we'll get back to you on those as well. All right. We have another question from TikTok. This is from Danny Ravioli. Great name. I want to start a business from my home. I'm a skilled writer, but every idea involved with writing feels like such a saturated market. I don't know what I should do. Have any advice or guidance? Thank you. I mean, writing's...
Writing what?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do you want
right?
to do copywriting? Do you want to write a novel?
Right.
Do you want to do
Are you-
autobiographies?
Are you writing newspaper stuff?
Yeah,
Right? Like,
it's,
what do
it's,
you?
it's a very broad skill set, right?
No pun intended.
No. If you're doing it for the money, become really, really, really good at sales copy.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
If you can write sales copy, people will pay you a fortune to write
If you do it well.
if you do it well, right? Like there was a letter that Coca-Cola sent out a few years ago that was historic because they paid the writer almost $100,000 to write the letter. And it was just a single letter that went out. And it was something to do with like, it went out to shareholders and had to convince them to vote like a certain way.
Yep.
And it was like an overwhelming vote the way they were recommending. And they credited that to how that letter was written.
There you
right?
go. So the problem with writing, of course, is nowadays you have to compete with artificial intelligence.
Well, that too.
It makes it very, very difficult to be no matter how skilled you get, it can be very difficult to compete against artificial intelligence. However, it's not as creative as human beings are.
No.
And we can come up with more creative copy than AI could.
So if you are already, because you know I write a lot, right?
Yes.
Like I've written books and all that stuff. The difference that AI has made for someone like us is that it just allows us to write faster because we can use AI to start us off. And now we're fine tuning rather than having to type from scratch.
Yes.
Right. So it's the time saver of typing, not the time saver of understanding how to structure the copy, what words to use, what are keywords that you have that actually make people take action, right? Because that's most of the time what it's about.
So again, so Danny here is asking for advice, right? So what kind of guidance should we give him, right? So first off, I love the idea of sales copy, right? Because that's huge, and it's always going to be big. AI just is not very good at writing any type of copy to convince me to buy anything. Nope. It's just not. I don't know if it will be. It might be somewhere down the line, but right now it's not.
I can tell you, what's the guy's name again? ClickFunnels guy. Forget his name.
I always forget his name.
Yeah, he's considered to be one of like the best sales copywriters out there.
Yeah.
He actually did a test using ChatGPT to write sales copy. So he gave it some basic prompts.
Yeah.
And he flat out said, this is better than 95% of people could do.
Yeah.
Right. The other 5% are people that
do it very well. Yeah,
correct.
exactly. Just because it's better than what 95% of people can do doesn't mean it's still very,
correct.
very
but
good.
That still out of the box basic prompts.
Oh yeah.
Still puts it in the top 5%.
But that's out of the box basic prompts, right? And you can, as you said earlier, you can you can build upon that. Right. So it's helping you, and you'll build upon those answers, those results, and write better copy and be able to, to earn more money in the long run. And now if let's get away from marketing as far as writing goes, right? Are you a book writer? Are you a ghostwriter, right? Do you write books for other people?
Yep.
Do you write movies? Do you write, so it all depends on what type of writing you're doing. Is it just creative writing? Is it fictional or fact, right? Is nonfiction? What are you doing?
So
I don't know.
I'm gonna say that if he wants to do it as a business, then that's probably not what he's thinking.
Well, hold on. We're live on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So Danny, you're listening to this live, hopefully, right?
Mhm.
Tell us what kind of writing you're doing, and we can give you a more direct answer.
I
So-
gotta read you this comment that came on TikTok though.
Oh, please go ahead.
He wants to open a bar that also does haircuts. So it's
Okay.
a barber shop.
I love it. Is that a joke or
Yeah,
serious?
it was a joke.
That's a joke. Oh,
But I think
I love that.
I would love that idea.
Oh my
though.
God. You're having it.
Go.
Well, I mean, yeah, because my hair
I
gets
was gonna
styled
say,
every
yeah,
few weeks. I have my hair styled.
Well, you
But
could get a trim,
get a trim on the
and
goat.
shave, and yeah, why not?
No, that'd be fantastic though. Like having a beer or something like that, or drinking a glass of wine while you get
Dude,
your haircut.
Barber shops are opening up all over the place because
all over.
because people it's a community, it's a
Yeah.
social hangout. So why not take it to the next step? And
Okay, so did you ever see the movie? I'm assuming you saw the movie Barbershop, right, with Ice Cube?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
all right. Okay,
yes.
thank you. I was
Sorry,
going to say, go home tonight and watch it.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
I
That's the kind of place you want to
Yes.
go to where it's just fun atmosphere. You know, people are telling jokes, talking sports, things like that. I mean, again, I haven't been to a barbershop in years. I've been shaving my head since the military.
No,
but lots of people when they go to the barbershop, you know, it's not that atmosphere.
my brother
Make it that
yeah,
atmosphere.
my brother-in-law lives in just outside of Newark, New Jersey. He has a barber shop that he goes to every Thursday night.
Okay.
It's like their hangout.
It's a hangout,
Right?
exactly.
And I'm like, okay,
Add beer to it. I love it.
why not?
That'd be great.
Beer and food.
Beer,
Keep them there all night.
Maybe food too. Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can't
why not?
serve people beer without feeding them.
Yes,
a
you
little bit. Yeah, you can.
you can.
You can. Okay.
Absolutely. It's called a speakeasy, but yeah, you absolutely can.
But if that was a genuine idea,
that's
I
a great.
like it.
I love the name too.
I do too.
So no, that's a cool. Who's that from? Did they give their name?
Hold on. I gotta find it. Logan, yes.
Logan. Okay, thank you, Logan. That's a great idea. I really do like that. And if you're dead serious about that, let us know. We'd love to talk a little bit more about that.
Mhm.
All right. So again, if you're live on TikTok, you are welcome to put your questions into the comments, and we'd love to get you an answer on today's show. In the meantime, we're going back to Reddit, and this is from Exciting Charge 7180, who says, "I need some reselling advice. I tried doing the reselling thing and have gotten 0 sales done by now. I have not invested. Don't sigh.
Yes.
Let me get through the question
Okay.
first. Thank you. I have not invested in the product since the dealer friend does give me the videos for testing and such, and I was focused on selling the products online. Most people say it's expensive and they can't afford it and compare them to cheap Chinese products. The earbuds I'm selling are also from China, but they're a quality product with a warranty, but people just don't understand. I feel like my marketing also failed because most of the queries came from out of the country, and the people from my country that feel like they're a cheap product. Should I start marketing the cheap ones with no warranty, or should I give the good ones with some more try?" They're selling earbuds.
Yeah.
There's a billion earbuds out there.
Yes.
How do you compete against Apple and Beats by Dre? I mean, it's kind of other than on price,
Yeah.
right?
But then you also have Bose, JBL.
Yeah, true.
Samsung,
The Bose ones are really good too. Samsung has them? I haven't seen the Samsungs.
Oh, here, let me show you.
You have them?
Yeah.
You have Samsung earbuds?
Of course.
Oh, pretty cool.
I like cool products.
Oh,
So
I never saw them before.
not
I didn't know
like
that.
Apple
I've
products.
had JBL. I have Bose.
Yeah.
My son has the Beats by Dre. They're phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And then of course the Apple
Well,
ones.
they used to be phenomenal, and then Apple bought them, and now they're
Well, yeah, from a few years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When this comes down to market research and understanding who you're selling to, right?
Yep.
So if you are in an area that doesn't want to spend $200 on earbuds, and the most common feedback you get is it's too expensive, I'm looking for the cheap stuff.
Right.
If you're just a reseller, match your market. Stock the cheap stuff.
Right.
Right? Like that's what your market is telling you that they want. So like if I have Gummy's audio visual store, right, or Gummy's headphone store, and I carry $300 headphones and I'm not selling any because everybody says I'm too expensive, well, guess what? Tomorrow I'm going to have the $99 headphones.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because that's how you stay in business. If you don't sell anything, you can't stay in business.
Yeah.
It's simple. Would I like to sell the $300 headphones? Yeah. But obviously that shouldn't be the bulk of what I carry in my store if they're not selling.
Right.
So we talk about this all the time too. Match the audience that is doing business with you, right? If you have I don't care if you're an influencer or you have a retail store or whatever it is, you may have a passion for headphones and be an audiophile and, really love the sound of those Sony $600 headphones I saw the other day that are fantastic, by the way.
Are they?
But I would never buy them.
Right.
Like they're $600 for headphones. But if your market is telling you they want the cheaper stuff, then stock the cheaper stuff. And I don't care, once again, if it's Gummy's headphone store or you're an influencer trying to sell a product. If your audience isn't buying those products, you haven't matched your product with the audience.
Huh. I went back to the over-the-ear headphones.
Oh, I did too.
I stopped using the earbuds. I like them better. I like the overhead better.
So I use the earbuds like at my office, and I use them for phone calls and stuff. But yeah, I went back to over this.
Yeah, when I'm listening to music or something,
sound way better.
It sounds so much better, isn't it? So, all right. So yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. You have to read your audience, see what your audience or your market, I should say, see what your market wants. If they want the cheaper quality ones, sell them the cheaper quality ones. That's really what it comes down to.
If I told you I'm doing a music festival in Nashville and you can only pick 2 bands, what style music would you pick?
Oh, it would have to be country or Southern rock.
There you go. Right?
I mean, that's it.
But that's not complicated.
They're your options.
Right? So sometimes it's really, really, really obvious.
Yeah.
This is the exact same question.
Yeah.
Just
Fair
packaged in a different wrapper.
So exciting charge. I hope that answers your question. Again, if you have any more thoughts, feel free to leave us some comments. All right, back to TikTok. We have it's kind of more of a statement, but I'm guessing there's a question in there from Jamar Miller, who says, premium mobile oil change services to service oil field fleets.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a client that does something similar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Knock it out.
So it's not a premium that only services oil fields, but he only does like the Penske trucks.
Yeah.
So he only does large box trucks.
Right.
And what's unique about him is he goes on site to do all of them.
Okay.
So the trucks are never taken. He comes in, he gets the call, hey, the first truck is going to be back at 2:00 today. He's there at 2:00 doing the first truck. So the trucks are never out of service.
Okay.
Because if they lose a day of service, that's very costly. So he found a little niche in the market where if he did them on site, he racked up contract after contract after contract.
That's great.
And he does it for, he has a beverage distributor. He does the same thing. Like he goes on site and he does them there rather than them having to bring the truck somewhere.
So do you think so now that's for box trucks, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's talking about for oil, like the trucks that deliver oil.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, I guess they start at a distribution warehouse somewhere, probably, right? Get filled and take their tanker somewhere.
There was a guy that stopped in my office the other day because he's building a warehouse. All he does is emergency tire changes for trucks.
Cool.
Where they call him, he drives to wherever the truck is, swaps out a tire.
Yep.
And that's it. And the only reason he can't grow beyond what he does is he can't find people to work. He's starting people in our area.
Yeah.
Right? Like Lansdale, middle of Montgomery County. His new techs start at $90,000 a year.
Wow.
Because
and he can't find people.
He is a premium service, right? There is every hour that a truck isn't on the road, they could be losing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So they don't care what he charges. They just say, come fix the tire. I need to be on the road again.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yep.
Jamar Miller continues here. Says, I've been in the oil field business for years, over 50 plus trucks. I mainly run half-ton pickups. Always have an issue with my guys going to get them serviced.
Yes.
Trucks stay behind. Right, because the trucks at the service, it could be there for days.
Yes.
Just to get an oil change.
Correct.
And like you said, every hour that truck isn't on the road, that's money out of your pocket.
It is loss of revenue.
Loss of revenue, absolutely.
So they're willing to pay a premium to get them serviced because they don't lose any revenue while they're out.
Yeah. So, all right. So, okay, Jamar, I like the idea so far. So how do we execute on it, right? How do we execute this idea? Now, I can
tell you, my buddy that did this literally went down to Penske and said, hey, I'm thinking about starting this service where I do oil changes overnight so they don't lose, so you don't lose any of their revenue, you don't lose them for the day.
Right.
And the guys literally say, what do you charge per truck? He gave them the number.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, can you start tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like that's.
Well, so it sounds like Jamar here is the Penske.
Yes.
He's the one with the trucks.
Oh.
I think, and Jamar, please correct me if I'm wrong. Sounds like you're the one asking, someone needs to do this business and start servicing my trucks, is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
So how do we get someone to help start this business? Where you're located, right? That'd be a big issue too.
There are other services like my buddies out there. In fact, he's a franchisor.
Yeah.
He sells franchises to people. Then they go and follow his playbook.
Oh, there you go.
And do it, right? So like these guys there are companies that do this. They're just few and far between.
Right.
But yeah, this is a niche market that is totally underserviced.
Because you think about those truckers, man, they can go on 2 runs and put enough miles on their truck where they have to get oil changed.
Correct. And I don't care whether it's a half-ton truck or like whatever it is. It's the same base service.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I find the irony in delivering oil and have to get an oil change, but that's another story.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, Jamar, give us some more info on that. I'm kind of curious, but no, that's a cool idea. I mean, again, yes, there are people out there doing it. He's talking specifically for the oil delivery fleets, but that could really go for any big rigs, right? Big rig change. I'll tell you where it would really work is at the stops, right? Like the Loves and things like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You start getting in with those guys where you have contracts with Loves, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's a big chain of rest stops out in the Midwest and the West Coast. Trucks, primarily truck stops, and getting contracts with them where you're allowed to service the trucks that are stopped there. That'd be. You'd be doing 200 trucks a day.
Yeah.
If you could.
Probably.
If you could service that many.
Yeah.
So that would be a matter of, having enough people.
Once again, if you own and operate a truck or trucks multiple, the worst thing that happens is you lose it for a day.
Yeah, exactly. So Jamar, thank you for the questions and for the follow-up. That's great. Again, if you're on TikTok, please feel free to leave some comments with questions. We'd love to get to them. All right, we're back to Reddit here. This is from Delicious Print 2343, who says, I'm thinking about starting a sneaker brand inspired by real cultures, and I'd really love your honest opinions. I really value your honest opinions. Hey, everyone. I've been thinking about an idea for a sneaker brand that's a little different from the usual options out there. Most brands tend to go either the super athletic route like Nike's or Adidas or focus on bold graphic designs. What I have in mind is a line of minimal sneakers inspired by real culture. So maybe one collection influenced by Indian craftsmanship, another by Roman design, Japanese simplicity, etc. Each pair would quietly tell a story, not with flashy graphics, but with subtle details, textures, colors, and materials that reflect the inspiration. I don't have a fashion background, just a genuine love for design and for the products that have meaning behind them. Before I get too invested, I would really appreciate some honest feedback. Do you think a concept like this could stand out in today's sneaker market? What would make you want to buy or not buy from a brand like this? I really appreciate your thoughts. I actually like that idea quite a bit.
I love this idea.
Yeah, I think it's cool because now I'm not a sneaker guy. I buy sneakers literally for the gym. That's it. Like I don't buy sneakers to wear every day. I don't wear sneakers every day.
Oh, come on.
I have one pair of sneakers.
Are they white?
No, they're black.
Okay. I could totally see you though with the white knee-high socks.
Oh yeah, that's all me. That's all
mowing
me.
your lawn.
Yeah, ask Tim. Tim knows.
I am seeing
that
it
was me
right
back
now.
in college, right, Tim? So no, I literally have one pair of sneakers and they're for the gym. That's it.
But no, anything that is we talk about this all the time. Patagonia.
Yes.
Right? Yeti. They all started in a niche market, which
Yep.
is what this is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whenever someone tells me they have an idea for a niche market, right? And people think,
Ears perk up, and I'm like, oh, tell me more.
but people think sneakers is a broad market.
Yeah.
Specialty sneakers are a niche market.
Yeah.
What are they called? Hookahs.
Yes.
There's been all kinds of Converse, right? They're a
That started as niche.
but they're a mainstream brand now, but they started as a niche,
Yeah.
right? Like Doc Martens,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
We remember them from back in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Did you know that's actually one of the reasons I started my TikTok?
Is that right?
Is I was making fun of a 21-year-old that worked for me. She was like, well, we made Doc Martens famous.
And
I
you're
was like,
who's
what?
Doc Martin?
What? No, because I walked, it all started, I walked in the shop and I goes, are you wearing Doc Martens? And she's like, how would you know that? I'm like, oh, we may have been wearing them in the 90s,
Yeah, right.
right? And he's like, no, we made them famous. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You may have brought them back,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you didn't make them famous.
They were famous
right?
back in the day.
But yeah, anything that is like the hard part is the distribution and finding the people that will retail it. But
Yeah.
there are a ton of like specialty clothing stores and stuff like that would carry specifically these types
little
of brands.
boutique shops
Yes.
would love something
Yeah.
like that.
Is this going to be a mass market selling 100 million sneakers a year? No.
No,
This-
but you could sell 10,000 sneakers a year and make a lot of
and,
money at it.
and this is a premium
Yeah.
product, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it has to be
This is
extremely well
a
made.
$20 all-in hard cost selling for $150, $200.
It's more than that.
Selling for more? Or it
It's
costs more?
Costs more.
Oh, I don't know what
and,
sneakers cost.
and probably selling for
Sneakers
more.
cost that much to make, you think?
What, sneakers?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're making them in small volume, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
even
know.
still, if you can find the right market, I mean, you can still sell sneakers for more than 149 because that's what the average set of Nikes cost.
Oh, yeah,
now,
that's what I'm saying.
right?
So
Like
$200.
this could be $200 to $300 product.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's
So
a
what, all
special.
in 50 maybe?
It's probably between 50 and 75 production cost with bringing them here.
So then the question, and Rick Rogan, we'll get to your question in a minute. Then this comes to another thing we talked about in the past. You're not going to sit in your garage and be stitching sneakers together.
No.
So how do you do that?
So with something like this, because this is a quality product, right? Chances are there's going to be a contract manufacturer somewhere. This is most likely going to be an overseas manufacturer with high-end shoes. I'm going to say probably India or Pakistan are going to be your best, if I remember correctly. Now I'm trying to, I can't believe I have an inventory
But the
list in my
point
head.
is you'd have to go to a
Correct.
third party to help you
But
manufacture these.
you would probably want to find someone in the US that already has a relationship with a high-end manufacturer, right? And use that relationship to leverage your first production run. You can then, there are trade shows globally where you can go and you will talk to 100 different manufacturers and they can all manufacture at different levels. That's what people don't realize is the same guy that puts out the clothing that you see at Walmart. They made that on Monday. Tuesday, they're
making Armani.
They're making Armani, right? And Wednesday, they're making it for Brooks Brothers, right? So they will match based on what you need. And they also have different, just like anywhere else, they'll have different workers with different experience that get to work on different things, right? And I saw this with purses. Literally, the $19 purse and the $90,000 purse come out of the same factory.
Yeah.
The
In many
difference
cases.
is where in the factory it's made, what raw materials they used, and who worked on it. And
the brand that gets attached to it in some cases. And as we talked about at the very beginning of the podcast, do not work with a contract manufacturer specifically and solely based on price. Don't go for the cheapest guy. You're going to get the cheapest results. Yeah, you want to be careful with that as well. You're not selling a cheap
product.
So Rick Rogan on TikTok asks, how do I even identify a niche market? That's an interesting question, right? I'd say it's less about identifying one and just What is it that you are interested in, or what is it that you can do?
It's like the magnets guy.
Right.
Niche market. People that need to attach the plastic wrapped foam seats that need them to stay in the boat. That's a niche market. Right. So it's not.
But the guy didn't go out and said, what can I do that's very niche? No, he happened to have a problem himself.
Yes.
And he solved that problem himself and realized other people would be able to benefit from this problem or from this solution.
Yet he did the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. They identified a problem.
Yeah. Bears going into coolers, apparently.
Well, yeah,
I'm kidding.
That's a whole different problem. But like they couldn't find something that kept something either hot for long enough or cold for long enough. So what did they do? They made it.
Right.
But it's not just that they made it. They made it for a very specific market to start with.
Right.
Outdoors people. That was it. Right. Stanley started with tradespeople. Like people had been buying Stanley cups and Stanley thermoses and stuff at Home Depot for years, right? Like that was the only thing you could get at Home Depot was the Stanley cup.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it became a mainstream product.
Yeah, because it wasn't one video.
It wasn't made for the mainstream. It was made specifically because you could take it and drop it from a 4th-story building, and it would just be fine. It would bounce. So you would go down, you would get it, and it would have a couple of scratches on it, right? Yeah. So they built them tough because they were designed around tradespeople that would abuse it, and they wanted it to be a quality product. Well, now you have to make it really well.
Yeah.
Right.
So Rick Rogan, I would in this. Okay, it's unlikely you're going to sit there and think and say, what's a niche market? How do I find a niche market? It's more likely you're just going to fall into it, right? Something's going to happen. You're going to solve a problem for somebody or for yourself, or something's going to, and you'll be like, oh, other people can use this too.
Yes.
Who do I market? Oh, okay, it's to this specific group. Boom, there's your niche market, right? So it's less about.
I'll give you like an ultra niche market. Someone's whose extremities are 1 inch shorter on one side than the other.
Yeah, which. Quite a few people like that. It's a lot of people.
It's a niche market, right? But so how you solve that is you need to have a 1 inch padding in one of your shoes, or however. It's a niche market, right? Is that a niche market I would go after with a product? Probably not unless I somehow solved something that they deal with, right? But like, niche markets is something you focus more on during the marketing process of a product than necessarily developing a product for a niche market.
Yep. So Rick Rogan, I hope that answers your question. Again, if you have any questions on TikTok, we got about 10 minutes left in the show today. So we have questions from our studio audience.
Look at that.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. So when it comes to my social media on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, what are the steps of me making my own business that focus around it?
All right. So you're asking about basically starting your own business and how to use social media to help with that?
Yes.
Okay. Gummy, you handle this every day.
So what people misunderstand about social media is that it's not an advertising platform, right? That's why most of the videos that go extremely viral on social platforms are what we call behind the scenes type videos, right? It's what's the secret sauce? How's the sausage made? All of those things. So if you are using social media as your primary platform to build, then you have to build it with purpose. Every single successful, other than, what was the name of that cookie that went absolutely nuts on TikTok?
Insomnia cookies?
No, the, people were talking about it. Like, what happened to, what the hell's the name of them?
I don't remember.
Look it up.
Okay. Cookie that went nuts?
Crazy TikTok cracker videos, whatever.
Okay. Anyway, talk about it.
Yeah. But like for them, it was all just about attention and publicity, right? It served no purpose other than being nuts, right? There's another lady that she's a realtor and she does TikTok videos. So she showcases houses on TikTok. So you would think that they would walk around and go, oh, here's the kitchen, here's the, here's the whatever room, blah, blah, blah. When she showcases houses, she mentions nothing about the house. In the last video that I saw with her, she actually went after people that drive Jeeps and have the ducks on their dashboard. So the entire video, she's literally standing in different rooms, making fun of people that drive Wranglers. And it is hysterical. And she is by far the largest realtor on TikTok ever.
But I like the ducks.
That's fine. You can still make fun of them. So it's really just figuring out, what do you want to be on social media and what do people find interesting, right?
Yeah.
So in her case, it's humor to sell a product that is totally unrelated to the stuff that she's talking about. For others, it's showing you how it's made and like really getting to know the company and getting to know who you are as a person. That would be the...
And just remember, when you are creating content for social media, people know when they're being sold to. They know when they're being marketed to. That's not what they're on social media for. They will skip past it. They will turn it off. They will unsubscribe, whatever it is. The moment they feel like this isn't genuine content, this is something that someone's trying to sell to me, right? Now, if it's content you're making to be funny, yeah, sure. You can, of course, you can script that, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're there to try to sell a product, people don't want to see that on social media at all. That's not why they're on social media. So if you can find a way to make it authentic while still getting your message out, yay, good, right? But if you're just trying to get your message out, like walk into a room and start trying to sell your product to people you've never met before, they're going to kick you out, right? Same thing on social media. People aren't going to watch at that point. So you're trying to put content up there that people want to interact with, that they want to watch. They don't want to watch your brand. They want to watch something funny or something interesting or something that they're going to learn from. That's why they're even on social media in many cases. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Was it last crumb?
No.
Okay. I don't know. There's a bunch of cookie brands on here.
Yeah.
All right, you look for the cookie brand. I'm gonna get past to the next question. We only have a few minutes left, so if you're on TikTok, please feel free to put your question in the comments, and we'll try to get to it as the last question of the day. Otherwise, we are back at our subreddit Business Ideas. This is Street Honeydew 9983 who says, "How much does brand design matter for early validation?" What?
Snutter butter.
Snutter butter.
Snutter butter.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they did these weird videos, and literally every marketer was, what happened to Nutter Butter? Like they just went, the videos had no purpose, no nothing. They were just nuts.
That's funny. Forgot about that. Actually, a question just came in from TikTok, so we'll save this one on Reddit for next week. So we'll do this one on TikTok. This is from Beaver Nuggets. Says, "I'm a high schooler who wants to start my first business. I have sold things like candy and drinks, but I'm looking to take the next step. What would you do in my position? I like beauty videos and makeup, so could that work? Yes or no, etc." Well, there's not a lot there to go on, but starting a business as a high schooler, let me say this. Awesome idea. I love it. I love the fact that you're young and already trying to become an entrepreneur in various reasons. Number one, and don't take this as a negative, your business will probably fail, but that's okay.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably fail. Statistically speaking, first business, especially if you're young and in high school, your business will probably fail. But the things you will learn from that failure will be better than any college you could go to, any life lesson you'll ever get, as far as being in business in the future. There are things you're going to do, things you're going to learn, people you're going to interact with, that will set your course, so to speak, for the next 20, 25 years of your life. Yeah. If you do this the right way. So the first thing I would recommend is whatever business it is you're getting into, and only you can answer that question, right? We can't tell you what business to get into because we don't know what you like. Okay, you say you like beauty, but then you're also talking about selling candies and drinks. So you're kind of all over the place, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. First piece of advice I would get to you is something we talk about quite often, and that is start networking. right now, if you're a high schooler, start learning how to network properly. There is nothing more important in your business than understanding how to properly network.
Yep.
And by networking, I mean going and meeting people not just in your industry, but in other industries. Don't go there telling them, hey, I have this product, I want you to buy it. You network by just meeting people, finding out who they are, understanding what their needs are, et cetera, and then going to another event and maybe seeing them at another event down the line. You meet these people 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and they get to know you. You get to know them. And the more people you have in your network, and we're talking, becoming, colleagues on LinkedIn, on Facebook, it's friends. What's it on LinkedIn? It's
Connection.
It's a connection, right? Connected on LinkedIn, things like that. The more people you meet, especially if you start young, the better when you do finally get that business that's starting to hit a little bit. Now you have all these connections that you can go to. And it will be so much more valuable than any class you could ever take. I'll tell you right now.
When you start a business, your first lead source is always your contacts.
Yes.
They're going to be your primary lead source when you start. And I don't care whether you're opening up a spa or a candy store, like whatever it is that you're opening up, your initial leads, your first potential customers are probably already in your phone at that point in time. Then you expand from there.
Yeah. So let's assume you're talking about beauty videos and makeup, right? So let's assume that's what you're going to do. You're going to do your cosmetology. Okay. You're going to be a beautician or something like that. Okay. You're going to open up a spa, right? Or salon or something like that. Okay. When I say go network, I'm not talking about go network and find people. Hey, you're looking for spa services? Hey, you're looking for beauty services? No. Go find the vendors. Where are the vendors at that sell the products, right? Where are the people that can help you, like the bankers that can help you get a loan for when you need to open up your own space?
The lawyers, the marketers.
Right. All the people that you're going to need to get those services when you actually do want to start opening that business. Yeah. Right. So take as a lawyer, for example, right? If you walked in my office and said, hey, I'm a high school student and I'm looking to start my own business, and I will sit down for you for 3 or 4 hours and tell you everything you need to know and won't charge you a dime for it. I would never charge a high school student, but I would give you every piece of advice I could, because I love the fact that you would be doing this.
Most business owners would.
Most business owners would as well.
And that's what people don't understand, right? And networks are so important. Like I was talking to a nonprofit the other day, and they were saying, oh, we've been trying to get a hold of someone at Fred Bean's. We've been writing them letters and stuff, and we haven't gotten any response. Yeah. With one text message, I got who exactly they should be addressing the letters to, because you and I both know
Virginia.
Someone. Yeah. Right. Well, it took one text message, and not only did I get them the name of the person they needed to talk to, I got them the direct line, the email address. Like she literally sent me the guy's contact card. Yeah. And I'm like, here. Yeah,
there you go. And that wouldn't have happened if you weren't colleagues, right? And if you hadn't networked, if you hadn't met them. Sometimes, man, you'll meet the person who has absolutely positively nothing to do with the business or the industry you're in. And that winds up being the best connection you've ever made. Yeah. Helps your business out like you would never believe. So for Beaver Nuggets, that's my first piece of advice for you is, while I'm so happy you're already looking into what to do for a business, whatever it is, start networking. Just go out and start networking. Go to events, go to social gatherings, go to your chamber of commerce, BNI, LaTip, whatever it is, any of these organizations, just start networking, start getting to meet people.
Your chamber of commerce.
Chamber of commerce would be great.
I remember the first couple of times I came down to Philly, it was the Scandinavian American something business association. Yeah. And it was a blast. I met a bunch of people that I ended up staying in touch with for years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is out of pure ignorance. Is Iceland considered Scandinavia?
We are.
You are. Okay.
Yeah, we are and we aren't. Like we are in the sense that we are, but geographically, technically we're not.
Oh, geographically you're not. I know. But because I think you share the same ancestors, right? Yeah, that's why. All right. So anyway, that's it, man. That's the show for today.
Nice.
Yeah.
It went by quick.
Hour always goes by quick.
Longest hour for anybody else having to sit here and listen to.
So for those of you live on TikTok, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the content, and send it to your friends. And we'd like to thank Neumann Goretti High School, and especially the John M. Connolly Center for Business and Entrepreneurship. Thank you for having us today in this beautiful room. We were really excited to do this, and we're glad that we can get some questions from the students. Just so everyone knows, before the show, we had an hour Q&A with a lot of students that were here answering questions about podcasting and business and stuff like that. So that's always a lot of fun too. So otherwise, we will be back. We will be on this Wednesday, 11:30-ish, right?
11:30.
Or 11:30-ish, back in our usual podcast room. And so we will see you then.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
See you in a couple of days.